So you decide to get proper sound in your vehicle and you decide to get a subwoofer. So today we're going to show you how to load a sub into an enclosure properly. So the enclosure we're working with today is from A-Trend, and this is one of their vehicle-specific boxes. This is going to go into a Dodge Ram. Now, when you're dealing with prefabricated boxes, there are pros and cons to prefab and to custom. One, this is significantly cheaper. The con to something like this is it's kind of a universal design, so your airspace might be off by a bit. Also, not everything might fit. So we got JL 0 here, pretty standard sub, and the issue that we're running into is it doesn't quite fit. Now the reason why is because it's not because of the diameter of the opening. This is actually fine. But after when you look inside, you can see where the basket's actually hitting the MDF right here. So we're gonna have to notch this out for it. Now with our inside of our box notch, it's not notched that much, but we put a little bit of an angle on the MDF. We can now take our 0 and it fits in nice and flush now. Now as you can see on this particular box, it's a little bit different design. Typically on most sub enclosures that are prefabricated, you can see the speaker terminals right over here, but on this application it's actually had to be put over here to get clearance because this goes right on the floor. So we're going to have to uninstall this first to put our wiring on it. Okay, so we're ready to hook up our speaker wire up to the terminal cup. On the outside here, this is where you connect the amplifier up to the sub, and on the back of these spades, this is where you hook up the speaker wires up to the subwoofer itself. So after you've gone ahead and bared off your wires, make sure you know which one's positive and negative so you don't hook up your subwoofer backwards. There are two ways you can hook it up. So we can either use spades, which will go onto here, which I'm not a big fan of, but if you are going to do it this way, take some sort of plier tool and crimp them down just a little bit to make them snug, because typically from the manufacturer they're a little bit open compared to these spades. That way you get a nice snug fit, but I'm not a fan of doing it this way. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be soldering the speaker wires directly onto the terminal. Now I've already gone ahead and wrapped my wire around these spades, so now we're ready to solder it on. So apply a little bit of heat first. And now with the speaker line securely soldered on, I don't have to worry about these coming off with all the vibration that goes on inside the box. And now we're ready to reinstall the terminal cup. Okay, I'm ready to put the sub in. Now, in my experience with these particular boxes, they're a little bit small on the volume side, so I've gone ahead and stuffed it with polyfill. What the polyfill does is it's actually going to make the volume a little bit bigger. Now, how does it do that since we're actually putting stuff in the box? Well, what happens is the air will actually travel through the polyfill and start to go different directions. So technically, we're actually making the box bigger by doing that. And it also helps refine the sound a little bit too. So we got our sub here, and we know which ones are positive and negative, so we're going to double check that. And then we're going to go ahead and just place them into the terminals and place our sub down. Now we're in our final stage. We're going to secure the sub to the enclosure. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pre-drill the box. Now typically you want to do this especially on finishes that are painted typically. Something where the wood's going to expand, you're really going to notice it. Now technically you don't have to do it on a carpeted box, but we like to do it anyways. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pre-drill here and here. Just because we don't want to expand the wood, we want to take every precaution to get as good of a seal as possible. So I'm not tightening down all the way just yet. Now, I've done these two first, so now I can pre-drill the remaining 6 holes, but that way with these two in here, I'm not going to have the sub shift on me in any way, kind of way. Finally, we can go ahead and put the rest of our screws in. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to go in a crisscross pattern, similar to how you're going to bolt down a wheel, for example. That way we get nice even pressure on this subwoofer. Now another thing that I like to do is, now, if you're going to use a drill, have the battery on the inside of the sub, because what happens is, if it were to slip, the natural tendency of the drill is going to want to kick out this way. If you start drilling in this way, if you slip, the natural tendency of the drill is actually going to go right into the woofer. So to be extra safe, we're going to go this way. There you have it, how to load a sub into an enclosure.